Hello, my name is Natasha Pritchett. I am a student of Grand Canyon University, where I am currently attending the prenatal to adolescent class, where my professor is the awesome Professor Oliver. Today, I will share with you tips and resources that will encourage families to become more involved in their child's classroom as well as in their home. My target today is preschool through third grade. So come along with me and let's share on today. The first thing we're going to talk about today is familial relationships and environment. Familial relationships and environments are a great influence on a child's development because it helps with the child's communication skills, their emotional state, their cognitive abilities, and understanding those around them. If a child is in an environment where he or she is, let's just say, is being nurtured, is receiving love, is being supported, and the environment is stimulating, those skills of that child will be developed and that child will flourish. Otherwise, if that child is not in the environment that is stimulating, an environment that is encouraging, is nurturing, is loving, is supportive, those skills will not go developed because the child is not receiving what that child needs. The role of culture and community. Cultural and diversity are a part of the child's growth and development. Culture is what helps give identity, and it shows how people relate to each other, how power is defined, and it also gives insight to different partnerships, different relationships, trust, and even negotiations. Children learn how to be a part of a community and the roles that we play within our community. It is so important that when we're teaching children about cultural differences, that we celebrate, we value, and we love who we are as a culture. But it's even more important to teach the value, to celebrate, and appreciate other cultural differences. Now, we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about something that's a little more near and dear to my heart. Let's talk about the influence of trauma and stress as it relates to child development. Now, we all know in a perfect world, we want every child to grow up and not know the pain and suffering of what that is. We understand that sometimes there is trauma and there's stress in the children's homes. The influence of trauma and stress can affect the child in a way that their brain, their social ability, as well as cognitive development is hindered. In some cases, trauma will cause children to become withdrawn in social environments and have trouble forming friendships, healthy relationships, and dealing with their emotions eternally. Now, what are some things we can do at home to kind of help address trauma and stress? What are some strategies that we can do? Well, it is important to know that help is always available to those families that may deal with trauma and stress in their households. Here are some suggestions that I come up with, and I think that they may help those families that are in need. One thing that you can do is you can practice breathing techniques. That is free 99. It costs absolutely nothing to inhale, exhale. Practice doing those breathing techniques will help the child to understand how to calm their bodies down, how to breathe without overreacting. The more you can get the child to breathe, the less you'll be able to see the child respond or react. Another thing that we can do is to create healthy routines such as exercising, exercise as a family. You can do yoga. There are amazing YouTube videos that you can do yoga with your family. You can sit down. There's different ones that you can do as a family. You can also practice bed or nap time, reducing the time in which a child goes to bed or the family goes to bed or takes naps. You can also develop healthy eating habits, increasing those fruits and those veggies and having less of the bad stuff to put in our bodies. Another way, and this is one of my favorites, is creating outlets, being creative in how you create outlets for your family to help reduce stress and trauma. One thing that you can do is painting, coloring, drawing pictures, or being creative with your hands. Anything you create with your hands is an amazing way to help reduce the stress and trauma that one may endure. You can also do journaling, reading books. Also, having a change of scenery helps with stress and trauma. If you remove yourself from a situation and get out into a new environment, it will help you to relax your mind and enjoy being in a new space. And what can that space be? Something as simple as going to the library or going to your local park. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are just a few ways to help have strategies at home that address stress and trauma. Now, let's talk about how to maximize, or strategies on how to maximize learning while at home. Let's talk about this. Well, there are a few ways that one can do this. While we understand that teachers get a lot of pressure put on them because we are expected as educators to be the ones to do all of the teaching, to do all of the educating for our children or for the children, it's important to know that families, parents, you have the right to take your child's education into your own hands. All right. So it's one way that we can do this. One way we can do this is to incorporate lessons in everyday activity in our everyday lives. Right. So, for instance, we have a family who has to prepare a dish. They're just cooking. Let's just say they're baking cookies. Well, that's a math lesson that can be taught right there. Well, how many cups of this do we need? How many cups of sugar do we need? How many cups of chocolate chips do we need? How many spoons of this do we need? That's teaching math right there. Simple, basic math right there. Another thing that a family can do is you can read together. There are amazing read alouds on YouTube and other different sites that families can put on a read aloud and either let the child sit and enjoy the read alouds one after another, or make it a family thing. Have the family come together, put on a read aloud, and ask open-ended questions. What did you think about this character? Why did you think the character was angry like they were? Just asking questions and picking your child's brain and will help them to maximize learning while at home. Another amazing creative idea that I came across was creating a museum. Have every person in the home find a few fun, interesting things, whether it's a toy, whether it's a coloring book, an item that they have, and set up a little mini museum for the children to share or share out what their artifact is or what their thing is. And then one last thing is create a writing center. Yep, that's it. Have paper, have pencils, have markers, crayons, and allow your child to explore. Have magazines in the writing center that they can pull out. Just old magazines. They can pull out newspapers. They can cut up. They can pull letters from there or practice writing letters. Something as simple as a writing center will help to maximize learning while in the home. ACEs reflection. While childhood trauma is a real thing, it is important to know that help is always near. As a child who was a product of abuse and household dysfunction, I can appreciate organizations that support children who are in traumatic living situations. ACEs has had a great impact on children, and they promote the well-being and the health of a child. If you have not learned about what ACEs reflection is, or just ACEs in general, please, please, please check out the references that I listed, and please share the information with others that may be in need. Well, that's my time on today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it has helped to encourage you to want to be more involved in your child's life and your child's growth and development and in their learning. I hope that the tools and tips that I shared with you have enlightened you, or will enlighten you once you dig into them. And I hope that we can together continue to promote growth, healthy conversations for our children, on behalf of our children, on behalf of our families and our communities, and so that we can break the negative stigma of children, of trauma, of cultural differences, of all the things, right? I hope that this video has inspired you. I hope that you will go into the resources that I have and I'm going to share with you. And I want to say thank you to ABC Quality. Thank you to the National Library of Medicine, or NILH. Thank you so much to the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. Thank you to National Center for PTSD. And thank you to Brooks Blog at Home Activities for Learning for those amazing resources that I talked about a little bit earlier in the video. That is my time. Until next time, continue to be great to each other, love each other, and God bless you all.